Tonight's Cooped Up, Captivated, and Bored Out of Our Mind is on a good friend because right about now we could all use just a little bit more Dick Bass. Dick Bass always envied Kermit the Frog. He said, "Yeah, Billy Stork, that Kermit the Frog could squat right down there on a lily pad, pick his guitar and sing, never fall into water." Dick was well into his doctoral research. I was a second-year veterinary student. We would meet at the Ye Old Donut Shop in Urbana, Illinois at 6 o'clock every Saturday morning. We'd eat sour cream donuts and drink chocolate milk and coffee that tasted like pond water out of porcelain diner mugs. But it was all about the company. There was a plumber named Bernie. We'd debate the merits of the Andy Griffith Show, and there was a retired asphalt foreman named Porter Keyes. Porter would always lecture to us on the intricacies of picking up women from a front porch with a pitcher of iced tea. One Saturday, we were walking home and happened upon a yard sale. Dick Bass moved a blender and an ab roller and picked up a broken mandolin, body and bridge hanging from 4 rusty strings. He handed the lady a $5 bill and tucked it under his arm as if it had been played by Bill Monroe himself. We got home. I said, "Dickie Bass, what do you know about playing mandolin?" He said, "Well, I know that down home when folks get together to play bluegrass music, we always need a mandolin player." Well, that poor old instrument hung on a coat hook in the breezeway next to my barn coat. Now, Dick Bass knew how to play guitar, banjo, piano, and he got a PhD in electrical engineering. But his superpower was that he made every minute of every day and every person he ever met feel special. Tuesdays, he would gather the entire department, the IEEE department at the University of Illinois. Students, faculty, staff, and administration, they would lock arms, high kick, and sing their way to a soda break. "I'm a pepper, he's a pepper, she's a pepper, we're all peppers, wouldn't you like to be a pepper too?" On Thursdays, we hosted family dinners. Come one, come all. We'd have meatloaf, fried chicken, turkey, and dressing. We got done eating, we'd retire to the front porch for the big square gray house sing-along until a slow-rolling Toyota would come by. Dick would put down his guitar and chase that car all the way to the corner. I asked him one time, I said, "Dickie Bass, where'd you get the idea to chase cars?" He said, "Well, down on the farm, we always had old Hound Dog, would chase him all the way to the hard road. When he was trotting back to the porch, he always had a big old grin on his face. One day I gave it a try. Dog was right." The last weekend before fall semester, we would invite everybody to the lake for water skiing, camping, and eating Elizabeth Clyde's crawfish etouffee. Well, the boat was getting a little full of people, so we dropped Dick Bass and some others off at the beach. When I came back to pick them up 3 or 4 hours later, it was like an armada. There was houseboats, pontoon boats, fishing boats, and ski boats. Everybody was clapping and singing and dancing and having the time of their lives. In the middle of it all, kicked back on an inner tube and a swim float, with a banjo across his lap, taking requests, picking and grinning, was the amazing Dick Bass. When he saw me, he looked up and smiled with his whole head. "Billy Stork, Kermit the Frog ain't got nothing on me today." Dick Bass's PhD research had to do with mobility and adaptive devices. His PhD defense attracted the attention of the Veterans Administration and General Electric. The auditorium was packed. 3 or 4 hours in, he declared that he was getting a little tired in the head. So he passed out donuts and chocolate milk and read Dr. Seuss. "Sam I am. I do not like green eggs and ham." After he graduated, Dick returned to Atlanta and very quickly ascended to a professorship at Georgia Institute of Technology. On April the 14th, 1999, I got a telephone call. En route to be with his failing father, Dick Bass perished in a car accident. We rallied the troops for a road trip, and we all gathered on campus at the University of Illinois. We went to the big square gray house. We walked through the electrical engineering building. We went to Murphy's and had hamburgers, and Kish fell off his stool the way Dick Bass used to, and we walked down Green Street, where once upon a time Dick Bass played a concert for a traffic jam. We were moving his piano in the back of his pickup truck. We made the Bluebird Cafe in Atlanta, Georgia, Saturday night, songwriters in the round. After the others got done playing songs that they had written for Eric Clapton, Garth Brooks, and George Strait, there was a quiet young man sitting at the end of our table. He played a song that was essentially an adaptation of the Footprints prayer. I asked for strength, you gave me mountains to climb. I asked for grace, you gave me people in need. When he strummed his last chord, he turned and bowed to the table full of sobbing pilgrims behind him. Sunday morning, we made the parking lot of the Cobb Creek Baptist Church in Atlanta, Georgia. When Dick and his wife, Kathy, had joined the choir, he sent me a letter. He said, yeah, Billy Stork, they are just fine with our singing, but they had to teach us rhythm. Minus the only two white faces in their membership, the choir swung slowly and sung low. I can't even walk without you holding my hand. They sang just a few polite decibels, but their voices filled every space not otherwise occupied by a person, pew, or a Bible. His bluegrass gospel outfit was gathered in a semicircle. At the bottom of the U was a chrome stand, embracing a sunburst Gibson F-45 mandolin with one white rose wedged in the tuning pegs. The guitar player attempted to speak. Not only did we lose a friend, not only did we lose one of the finest high tenor vocalists and best mandolin pickers I have ever heard, we lost a spirit. The minute that man stepped into our circle, it was as if songs that we had been playing forever were brand new. As the congregation swelled with faculty, staff, and kinfolk, the minister shuffled some ribbons in his Bible. The hush was shattered by the high honk of air brakes outside the church. The doors came open, and in filed the residents of the Atlanta YMCA, boys' homes, group homes, shelters, and the street. They huddled in the vestibule with their wrists together. They stared at the floor like prisoners of war. The sight of which the minister came down from his pulpit, because loss knows no ethnicity and it knows no education. And he personally ushered those men into the pews among us. The learned murmured and wrinkled their noses. I happened to be sitting next to the dean of the department that Dick Bass taught for. I leaned in and I asked, by any chance do you know what Dick Bass does before he comes to school to teach and research each day? He did not. I said he serves those men breakfast. To live on in the hearts of those you leave behind is not to die. Please, keep something moving forward.